Need a bit of a nerd alert on this video, so just a warning, it's full of techie stuff and nerdy stuff, so if you're not into that, don't watch it. A few people have said they want to see some kind of behind the scenes and what's going on. So today I'm in the cinema to upgrade Screen 1 to Dolby 7.1. Most of the hard work's done, the surrounds have been swapped, extra cables pulled in for the extra 2 channels. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Hopefully it'll go well. So it's currently 5.1, which is left, centre, right, sub bass and left surround and right surround. I'm going to upgrade that so that it's got an extra 2 surround channels. So the surrounds will be left side surround, left back surround, right back surround and right side surround. Left, centre, right and sub will stay as they are. So as I say, complete nerd alert. If you're not interested, don't watch it. Cheers! Back in the cinema today. For once, doing something that I'm reasonably good at. Spent the last few days doing all sorts of things, seats, bit of painting, extending the alarm system, so we've got more coverage of the building, and the CCTV system, so we've got more coverage of the building, so we're all secured up. And then over the last few days, I've been swapping out some surround speakers, and it's they're all up there now. The reason being is the speakers we had originally were alright, but I was offered some better ones and I thought we'd get them up, and at the same time upgrade Screen 1 to 7.1, Dolby 7.1, Screen 2 already is. So that's what I'm doing today. So it's a bit of a fun day for me today. This is what I do, this is my background. Cinema sound in particular, I'm not saying I'm the best, but I'm reasonable. I'll leave it at that. So I'll show you the speakers and you can see why we're doing it. So these are the speakers. The one on the left, these are our original ones, which are alright. They've got I think it's an 8-inch driver in there and a horn. But these are the actual JBL surrounds that are in lots and lots of cinemas. And I was offered some from a multiplex that was closing. I'm not going to say which multiplex chain, but let me show you what they're like inside. So they've got quite a big horn and a 10-inch low frequency driver. The only problem is every single one of them is knackered. So what I've done is I've removed these and replaced them with a different one. So they've all got new drivers in, and Screen 1 is fully populated with these now. So I've got Screen 2 to do. We've got 4 up, but in Screen 2 is another 6 to do, I believe. So now they're up in Screen 1, we finally got them wired. The last 4 were wired on Friday. Thursday. I thought I'd pop in today and just have a go and get it all set up and see how we get on with 7.1. So let's see what happens. Just on the way upstairs, here's the 8 drivers that were replaced from the upstairs speakers. Every single one of them knackered around the edge. You can get repair kits if anyone wants a JBL 10-inch. What's the model? It's a model somewhere. There you go. 172H2. Free to a good home. They're only going in the bin. Right, onwards and upwards. Let's get this thing done. We're in the projection room, Screen 1. The original projection room with a polished used to be polished parquet floor. So this is the original, well, I say original, this is one of the 35mm projectors that was installed in 1972, moved down to the bottom projection room when it was twinned in 1980. I rescued this in 2005 and Odin closed it, then reinstalled it back in its original position in 2007. So this is no longer used, but today I am going to reconnect it. It does run, but the sound hasn't been connected for about 5 or 6 years. I'm going to put that back in. Behind it is the digital projector. Ignore this thing, but that blue thing there is the digital projector with a server underneath that plays the films. We'll be back to that shortly. And here's the sound rack. So this is what's doing the sound. This has seen many different modifications, and today it's going to be modified even further. So the top processor, this one is the one that we currently use. It's a Dolby CP750, which is currently just in use for the digital projector with 5.1 sound. Left, centre, right, left and right surround and subwoofer. That's a monitor panel so we can hear what's going on up here. This is the processor we used to use for the analog sound, and in the early days we used it for digital with a converter feeding it. This is a CP500, not been used for years. That will be back in use today, I hope. And underneath we've got the existing amplifiers, got two QSCs, they're doing left and right. There you see left and right, and centre and sub. And then the PV underneath is doing left and right surround. What I do need to do is add another channel, another amplifier, to give me two more channels for left and right rear surround, which I'm going to do now, and make up a lead to give me 8 channels of output from this thing rather than 6 channels that we've got now. So I'm going to do all that, and then hopefully we've already got the speakers up, we've got the speaker leads in the other day, we've got sound coming out of those, so hopefully it should be a case of setting some levels, doing a bit of EQ, and we should be away. This is one of the first parts of the job. This is the 25-way D connector from the output of the cinema processor. This has got 8 channels of balanced audio. So I've just wired this now to, surprisingly, 8 screened cables, all balanced. And these 8 channels will go down to feed the power amplifiers in a minute when I get those lashed in. So that's left, centre, right, sub bass, left side surround, right side surround, left rear surround, right rear surround. That the processor is Dolby 7.1 enabled, so I just need to do some jiggly pokery in there, and then hopefully we'll get 7.1 from our server. We'll find out shortly. This is the other end of the lead, so each one has got one of these XLR plugs on the end which connects to the amplifier. So 3 leads, so that's hot, cold and screen, balanced output from the processor, balanced input to the amplifier. The other ones are made up on the floor down there. So now I need to go and put an extra amplifier in the rack to provide amplification for the rear surrounds. We'll get that in, get that wired, and we should be ready to set some levels. So that's it, that's the rack finally repositioned, everything's moved around. So this thing is now connected to 8 channels of amplification. This will be the analog processor reconnector back in. Everything's moved down. So amplifier wise, we've got two original QSCs. They're 400 watt per channel in RMS, so that's doing left, right, centre and sub. The one here, the PV amp, is now still doing left and right surround. And right down the bottom we've got a crown, 400 watt per channel. That's doing slightly overkill, to be honest. That's doing left and right rear surround. So we've got 800, 1600, 2400, 3200, is that right? Yeah, 8 4s are 32. It's got 3200 watts of power to drive the speakers out in the screen. So what I need to do now is take a laptop and some bits of software and bits and pieces into the auditorium and get some pink noise on, see what we've got. So we're in the auditorium, sat in one of the seats. This is the Dolby software that I'll be using on my laptop, which is connected now to the processor upstairs via Wi-Fi. And then I've got a calibrator microphone sat on a tripod and some software, acoustic analyzer software running on my iPad. This is only a basic alignment. It's just to make sure the EQ is right, make sure the sound's coming out the right speakers, and get some levels. Once we've moved everything, like the scaffold tower, which is still sat in front of the screen, and obviously my girlfriend is still sat there looking at me, watching everything I do. Once all that's moved, then I'll do a proper EQ, and we use 4 microphones for that, spread about the room. So it gets a little bit noisy, but I'll just show you what one of the channels looks like on the analyzer. So I'm basically just going to whip through now, set quick EQ and levels on all 8 channels, and then I'll have a little test, make sure it's working. Just looking at the playback server screen now remotely on my laptop. This is where we play the films from, so where we play the clips from. All the shows are played from here. If you just go into the editor screen, you'll see this is the feature folder. It's where we keep all the feature films, where they're all stored. These are the recent films that we showed just before we closed. every one of them has got a red padlock on it at the moment because these are locked. We have an electronic key supplied to us by the film distributor. Those have obviously expired now, so we can't play any of these clips. But what I'm doing at the moment is looking at the control panel, and we're going to audio configuration. Excuse my wobbly hand. And I've just changed this, actually. Should have shown you doing it, which is where it's changed now so that it will play 7.1. So this is allocating each channel coming out of the server. These are digital channels. So we've got left and right, centre and sub bass, left surround, right surround. And channel 7 and channel 8 are now going to do rear left surround and rear right surround. So they're all configured. That should be good to go. So what I'm going to do is load up a clip which should then test that for me. If I just jump back into this one. So I found the clip that I'm looking for, which is the Dolby 7.1 channel ID test. I've ingested that from downstairs on the other screen. I'm now going to add that to a new playlist, and there it is. So if I go into the playback screen and press play, hopefully we should get a channel ID, which you won't hear. Well, you will hear it, but you won't get the direction from where the sound's coming from. Hopefully I will. Let's have a listen.
Left. Center. Right. Right side surround. Right rear surround. Left rear surround. Left side surround.
Cool. So that's all coming out the right holes. What I'll do is I'll get a picture on the screen and run that through again, and then all I've got to do now is clear that hum on the back, which I think is going to be an earthy issue. Sort that out, and we're loosely good to go. And yeah, happy days. I'll get a picture on the screen and try and clip that for you as well. Okay, so the projector lamp is now on. It's in the right format. So I'm going to play that same clip again. Hopefully this time you'll see what's going on as well as what I can hear. So let's give it a go, see what happens. Let's press play.
Left. Center. Right. Right side surround. Right rear surround. Left rear surround. Left side surround.
Cracking, that's all good. So that's it. Just go upstairs, try and find this little hum on the rear channel, and that'll do, as I say, until the place is empty, and then I'll do a proper EQ. But everything's coming out the right holes, roughly the right level. Sounds good. Job's a good one. Well, that's me for the day. Everything done. Got rid of the hums. The Dolby Atmos trailers sound fantastic up there, I'm pleased to say. Really, really pleased. And yeah, so just got to drag my tools, laptop, everything back to the car. Don't leave anything in the cinema for obvious reasons. And then that's it. Maybe get a walk in the sunshine this afternoon. I think it's still sunny out there. Maybe not as sunny as it was, but never mind. So yeah, have a good weekend. I dare say we'll be back in here, weather dependent, tomorrow, maybe Monday, we'll see. Back to painting, I think. Painting, seats, light fittings, back to the boring stuff. I've had a play today, so I can't complain. Take care, cheers.